Good day, everyone. My name is Srikanth, and today I'm here to explain about our project. So, our project is creating a business process model for ADB wholesalers. And just to introduce our team, we have worked on various tasks and the works that we have divided amongst us to develop the final product. So, myself, Srikanth Reddy Kasaram, I am the project manager, and we have Navyatha who worked in the project as a researcher. And there was Vamshi Krishna, who was the analyst, the data analyst for the project, and there is Satyapal Reddy who was the process modeler or the designer for our project. This is our team. And firstly, to explain to you about our project problem, our client ADB wholesaler is a wholesaler who's been distributing household and food products to the retailers based out of Adelaide in Australia. And he has been having some problems processing the orders as he was using the manual ordering system. So some of the basic problems that he was facing is to maintain the accuracy of processing the orders and also to having the orders delivered to the retailers in turn, which is leading to a loss of business. So as this has been the case, the client basically wanted to develop a business process model. So to employ the ordering system into the digital format so that he can process the orders from the retailers through online. So also in the business requirements that the client has mentioned to us, he has requested us to develop the model through two interfaces, one from the wholesaler's perspective and the others from the retailer's perspective. So as any project, we have sit down as a team and worked on what are the user stories, which are basically the requirements that were mentioned by the client, and we have categorized them to work across the project. And some of the user stories we had to combine at the end of it so that we could integrate all of them to develop the overall model. And I can probably we won't be having time to explain all the user stories, but I can give you a gist on how we divided the user stories, which are basically the requirements. So firstly, the major user stories in the project were developing workflows for both the wholesaler and the retailer, which is pretty much how the wholesaler from his perspective would be acting and how the retailer from his perspective would be acting. And then wholesaler having a digital platform to list all the items, to categorize them, and to update the prices, then giving the options for the retailers to select the category of the items, to register, and placing the orders and receiving the notifications accordingly. So these are some of the relevant user stories that we have put in our project. So just to give you a perspective, now that we have known what our project problem is and what are the requirements that are the user stories in the project. So just to give you a further information on what is it that we worked on. So we basically worked on developing a business process model to our client that will help him to process the orders through the digital platform. And as I've explained in the previous slide, so it has to be from both the wholesaler and the retailer's perspective, considering both the aspects of the business, because though we are developing a product for our client, we have to constantly keep in mind that it is the retailers who gives business to our client. So we had to get another interface where the retailers would also be able to have their own options to update the account or to customize the account as per their requirements, just to select the categories of the items that they want or to select the timings and so forth. And at the end of it, we have to ensure that there is a strong relationship between both the perspectives, both the retailer and also the wholesaler, and then to get an overall model that works in an efficient way so that our client can reach out to get a digital platform. So my friend Vamshi will take over and he will be explaining the further slides.
Thank you, Srikanth. And from here, I'm Vamshi, and from here, I'm going to explain about the business process model, what we have developed. And here, what we are seeing is the final process model, where we have integrated all the retailer workflows and the wholesaler workflows into one. And here, where ABD wholesalers can add the products and list the items for sale, where he can edit the prices and quantities, where he can add retailers, where if the retailers want to log in, if they are the existing customers to the ABD wholesalers, they can straight away log into the digital platform. And if the retailers are new to the digital like to this ADB wholesaler, so they need to upload the documents and they need to prove their credibility and accept their terms and conditions. If they doesn't if they fail to approve their credibility, so the process of the retailer will be end there. If they have been approved for the credibility and the accept terms and conditions, they can register straight away to the wholesaler successfully, and the retailer can log into the ADB wholesaler. So after logging in, they can easily hand over, they can easily add the products what they need, and they can uh, process the order. If the if the order has been declined by the wholesaler, so if the process has been declined by the wholesaler, it means that it says that the wholesaler does not have the does not have the product what the retailer needs, and the retailer will be contacting the wholesaler if the what why the order been held or been cancelled. If the retailer is happy to wait for the product what he need, so then wholesaler holds the order. Otherwise, the wholesaler can cancel the order. If the product what retailer needs is there with the wholesaler, then he can straight away do the delivery to the retailer, and he can send the notification when the delivery will be delivered to the retailer. And next, if retailer gets any uh, different products what different products or items may be damaged, then the retailer can easily uh, return the products what's been damaged, or or the wrong products which has been delivered. So if everything is fine with the products what retailer gets, then the process will be end here. And next, here I'm going to explain what the tools we have been used like different tools to develop our model. And here I'm going to tell some of the tools what we have used here, where we use the draw.io for the sample workflows to generate a sample workflows, and we use the Balasmic as it's been suggested by our client to develop the workflow models that we have created. And we used another tool, which is Bizagi, that's been suggested by our mentor, which is very updated version, where we can easily design the process, design the model, and test the model whether it's been running successfully. And in the same tool, we can even simulate the process. And we used some of the Google Forms where we can do this survey from the retailers, like real-time retailers, for the quantitative aspect of the project. And we use the Google Scholar, for which Google Scholar, like use it to uh, search for the research papers and the literature review what about the project what we are doing. And we use the video scribe, which we are used to create a promo video to demonstrate our project. And next, the tools of used our project this is the Bizagi modeler and the video scribe and the Google Scholar. And what the methodologies employed in the project are: we have employed both quantitative and qualitative methods of research for the project. And research for the here's the quantitative approach, where in the quantitative approach we can show the survey what we have done with the real-time retailers. So it's a bit easy here to show like digitally on the digitally on the digitally. So here are some of the questions what we have been asked from the retailers. And most of the retailers, like 90% of the retailers, are happy to do the uh, orders through digitally. So it's been like, so we are also like implemented the digital platform as our client asked. And next is the quantitative approach, qualitative approach, sorry, where in the qualitative approach, we got like retailer workflow and wholesaler workflow. When the retailer workflow, in the retailer workflow, it shows like what the retailer has been, what have explained in the total model. It in the final model, the same thing there in the retailer workflow and the wholesaler workflow. When the retailer workflow, we got like how the retailer will be registered in the registered in the digital platform and approve the and up and checks his credibility and accept the terms and conditions, and how he can place an order after accepting all terms and conditions. And in the wholesaler workflow, we can see like how the wholesaler can add the products and delete the products and add the quantities what he got in the warehouse, and he can accept the retailers. And next, Satya gonna explain and further slides. Thank you.
Thanks, Vamshi. Uh, Hello, everyone. Myself, Satyapal reddy. So, as I'm being the uh, process model developer, like the designer for the product, so here I'm going to explain how we develop the product and on what basis we develop the product. So, here, firstly, I would like to explain how we have been created the product. So, the base to create these final business process model is our discussion with the client on our day one. So when we met our client on day one, the client has mentioned what problems he's facing, like how he's losing business because of this manual ordering system and all. So he has specified some uh, terms. So based on that, we have developed this final process model. So as per our client's requirement, we have created the final process model. Now here I'm going to explain in detail about the final model, as I'm being the designer of the final process model. So here, basically, this is the digital platform for the ADB wholesalers. Here, the wholesaler, since because it's his a digital platform, he can able to add and list items for sale, and also he will be able to edit the price and quantities as he want, and then he can specify the directions for the users, because as it's the digital platform for the wholesaler, he knows everything, the user directions, terms and conditions and all. So here, once the ADB wholesalers can able to add the retailers, if the retailer is the existing, he can directly log into the platform and would be able to place the orders and get the items delivered successfully. If the retailer is new, he needs to provide his company information, and then he needs to uh, pass through the credibility check and accept the terms and conditions. So once he has done with these processes, he can register with the wholesaler platform successfully, and then he can be able to place the order, log into the digital platform and place the orders successfully. So once he log into the digital platform, there will be purchase order will be developed, the purchase order will be generated. So once the purchase order is generated, he can place the order, and then the wholesaler will be able to receive the order. And as the wholesaler receives the order, he can check the status, like if the wholesaler got everything with the with him, he can directly process the order, and the order is accepted, and the items will be delivered. So if, just in case, if the wholesaler is not having the particular product or any particular quantities, he can hold the order for some time, or he can cancel the order. This is what the uh, idea behind our final process model, and this is the demonstration of how we this is the demonstration of what we got when we run the process through the uh, Bizagi modeler. So here, when we run the process through the Bizagi modeler, here we got these are the different like probabilities that we've got, and this is the demonstration of the simulation view. When we are simulated through the Bizagi modeler, this is what the simulation view, and this is the what if analysis for the testing. and the further slides will be explained by the researcher Navya.
Thank you, Satya. Now I would like, my name is Navya. Now I would like to explain about the usefulness of our product. Our product, this helps our client to draw his retailers to process the orders through the digital platform. We have submitted the final model to our client and waited for his approval. When he has approved, then we have gone through the further processes. So the client can employ this model to create a digital platform to process the orders from the retailers, and this is very useful to our client to improve his business and to improve his accuracy of the business in the future. As we all know, the testing is very important for our model. Like, yes, we have tested the model by using what if analysis in Bizagi model, which is one of the advanced tool nowadays. So we have done the what if analysis by taking like 1,000 retailers, and this what if analysis will filter the retailers, like by accepting the terms and conditions of the wholesalers, and then it filters and draws to certain amount, which will be different in the real time. And now whether this product fulfills the requirements or not, yes, 100%ly we are sure that the product definitely fulfills the requirements of our client, as we got approval from him and we made the necessary changes told by him. Does the product satisfies the user stories? Yes, we are 100% sure that this product fulfills the user stories. And we have proofs that were submitted in our Google Drive as a name, the crew. You can go and check it out there. And the recommendations that we have suggested to our client to keep to have a secure, to keep the high security system to safeguard the retailers' data, and the client to deploy the digital platform, as he can access the data of the orders from the retailers and to analyze it, and he can enhance his business. From the survey that we have done, this definitely proves that the digital platform is preferred for the ordering system, and hence we suggested to develop the digital platform to draw more retailers. Finally, I conclude. We recommend client to deploy the business process model that we have developed, as it covers all the business requirements mentioned by our client and also filters out some of the retailers that might be credible enough or accept terms and conditions of the wholesalers. Thank you. And next conclusion will be processed by Srikanth.
Thank you, guys. So, as our friends have explained about all the details of the project and the work that we've done so far, and I'm here to conclude about the project. So now that we've finished working on a project, we have used all the possible tools that will help us to judge that the digital platform is a better option, or it is the way to go for our client in further futures, because the digital platform shall considering the way that technology and trend is moving, not only the retailers, every other aspect is moving towards the digital platform. So I would say that ordering through the digital platform will definitely help our client to not only to solve his problems, but also it will definitely draw more retailers towards him, as it is easing the way that the operation is being done. And finally, we would like to conclude the presentation as a team that whatever the research that we've done on analyzing the model that we've created, it should definitely help our client that should be good enough for a client to reach out to the developers, and they can definitely use this model to develop the business, develop the digital platform that will help him to process the orders to the from his retailers. And thank you for it. And if there's any questions, we will catch up soon. Thank you.